I thought what I'd do is try to create some layers on top of these that might make them a little bit more interesting. So one way to use stencils to make something more interesting is to pop a contrast. So if you look at this and you kind of squint, it's almost all the same tone of color. There's a few darker and just a few lighter spots, but not really. What we're going to do is start out by popping some contrasts, okay? I think that it looks fantastic. I'm happy, and I'm going to set this aside. I do believe it's ready to go in my journal now. All right, let's do this. Let's get it juicy, juicy, juicy. And I do have some whites showing on here, but why not get some drips going using a pen instead of, you know, what you might normally do, instead of wetting down paint. You can get drips from a pen. Look at how that's doing. Isn't that fantastic? That's what is it Kristen says? Pump it until it puddles. And you know, I had never heard that before. And of course I've been doing it, and sometimes they get a little bit overdone like this is. But then I think it's just time to decide to go with drips. You just have to love it. And this is also a good time for me to edge up and add a few more whites here and there. I like how this white is coming together. There's some black grids now riding behind. And I'm going to set this aside and then move to the third one for a bit. Take that back here. I'm going to use this one. This is from my ATC. And I'm going to use, this is a VersaFine Claire Pine Cone is the color. And I'm going to use this Magic Best I don't know, best brush ever or whatever it's called. I cannot remember, but I believe Kristen has these two, and if she doesn't, she can probably help you out. We're talking about Kristen at Ephemera Paducah, if you have any questions. Look at how that just really transforms the page. So simple, so simple. So I have just recently kind of moved back into ink pads, I will admit. I don't know why I had not been using them for years, but I just hadn't. And I have moved back into them now. You know, actually, I'm going to give Seth some credit for this, because when he and I did the project for this month's Stencil Club, yeah, inking with these brushes is just fantastic. I mean, they're really, really nice. When he and I Now, that dark got too dark, so I'm gonna grab some Nugget, this fresco finish color, and get it on my sponge. And then let's go back in and add some more of this web stencil. Lights and darks, lights and darks. Immediately throws that to the back and makes this area a little bit more acceptable. Now, since I put it there, I also want to put it somewhere else. So I'm going to put that same motif down here a little bit, and that looks good. And then I could put it somewhere else, or we could just call her done, either way. But I think you're getting the idea of how, and many of you, I'm sure, had a lot of familiarity with this already, but just don't give up. You have an ugly page? Keep going. Just keep going and keep adding some layers and make it more interesting. And now, when I'm ready to use this in collage, I'll just cut out a part, and I have something that I like quite a bit. So have fun with it. Blacks and whites are often the key, especially when used with stencils. It's almost like you can't go wrong. So add a nice complementary color like I did the pink, the coral, or the straw color here, and then go for your blacks and whites, some stencils, and yippee, you are good to go.